Title: The Whispers of Willow Creek. In the small, quiet town of Willow Creek, nestled between dense forests and misty hills, there existed a forgotten legend that sent shivers down the spines of the locals. The story revolved around an old, abandoned house on the outskirts, known as the Hawthorne Manor. Once a grand estate, it had fallen into disrepair after a series of tragic events that plagued its last inhabitants, the Hawthorne family. The tale began in the early 1900s, when the Hawthornes were considered the pillars of the community. Nathaniel Hawthorne, a wealthy merchant, lived there with his wife, Eliza, and their two children, Samuel and Clara. As the family thrived, whispers of a dark presence began to swirl around the estate. It was said that Nathaniel had become obsessed with the occult, conducting strange rituals in the basement, seeking power and wealth. One stormy night, the townsfolk heard a series of blood-curdling screams echoing through the valley. When they rushed to the manor, they found the family in a state of disarray. Eliza was missing, and Samuel and Clara were found in a trance-like state, their eyes void of life. Nathaniel, in a fit of madness, was discovered in the basement, surrounded by candles and strange symbols, muttering incoherently. The authorities quickly declared him unfit for trial, and he was sent to a mental institution. The house was left to decay, and the townspeople avoided it, fearing the malevolent spirits that were said to linger. Years later, in 2023, a group of college friends, Emily, Jake, Sarah, and Tom, decided to investigate the legend for their documentary project. Intrigued by the mystery, they drove to Willow Creek, armed with cameras and flashlights, eager to capture the haunted history of Hawthorne Manor. As they approached the crumbling estate, a heavy fog rolled in, shrouding the house in an eerie stillness. Inside, the air felt thick and charged, as if the walls themselves were watching. They set up their equipment, capturing the peeling wallpaper and dust-laden furniture, whilst sharing ghost stories to lighten the mood. However, as night fell, the atmosphere shifted. The faint sound of whispers began to echo through the halls, barely audible, yet unmistakable. "Did you hear that?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling. The others nodded, their bravado fading. They followed the whispers, leading them to the basement, the heart of the manor's dark past. As they descended the creaking stairs, the temperature dropped sharply. Their breath fogged in the frigid air, and the whispers intensified, becoming frantic and desperate. Suddenly, a loud crash startled them, sending them scrambling back. Tom, who had wandered off, emerged from the shadows, pale and shaken. "I saw her," he gasped, "a woman, in white." The group exchanged nervous glances, questioning whether Tom was playing a prank, but the fear in his eyes was genuine. Determined to uncover the truth, they pressed on, returning to the basement, where Tom had seen the apparition. The whispers grew louder, drowning out their voices. In the dim light, they saw a figure, a translucent woman, in a flowing white dress, her face twisted in anguish. The air filled with a sorrowful melody, resonating from her very being. "Help me," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the rising tension. The friends felt a pull, an inexplicable urge to reach out to her. But as they did, the room shook violently, and a dark energy surrounded them, suffocating and cold. Panic set in, and they scrambled back up the stairs, but the house seemed to shift around them. The doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. Desperation clawed at their minds as they realized they were not just intruders in a haunted house. They were part of a tragic cycle that bound the spirits of the Hawthorne family to their fate. With their hearts pounding, they found an old diary tucked beneath the floorboards. It belonged to Eliza Hawthorne, detailing her husband's descent into madness and the horrors of the rituals he performed. The final entries were frantic, pleading for help, begging for forgiveness. The friends realized that the family's pain echoed through the house, seeking closure. They gathered their courage and began to read the diary aloud, hoping to break the curse that held the spirits captive. As they spoke the final words, the temperature dropped one last time, and the whispers turned into a symphony of wails. The apparition of Eliza appeared, her expression softening as she listened to their words. In that moment, the room filled with light, and the oppressive energy dissipated. The friends felt a wave of relief wash over them as the spirits of the Hawthorne family finally found peace. With the dawn breaking, They stumbled out of the manor, breathless and forever changed. They had confronted the darkness of Willow Creek, and in doing so, had freed the souls trapped within the walls of Hawthorne Manor. The experience became the cornerstone of their documentary, a haunting reminder that sometimes the past clings to the present, and all it takes is a voice to bring it back to light.